Well, I just got in with this load of hay here, and of course, you know, I deal with agricultural stuff and off-grid living, but today's message is not just about that. It's for any business you're in or anything you're trying to do in life, even if it's not a business. This is about building your network. Hey everybody, welcome to the Brazos Forager channel, where I help people find the free food that's already available at their fingertips and also cultivate the area they have to make even more free food, whether it's a balcony, a backyard, or a ranch. So we got a really cool show for you today. It's going to be a quick one, but what we're going to do is talk about how you build your trading network. You can always incorporate cash into this, but if you look at my channel or my Instagram, you know everything I do is foraging, sort of agricultural, growing a garden, growing animals, stuff like that. But this model works for anything that you want to do, any kind of trading network you want to establish. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing I would recommend in a trading network is just be neighborly. And by that, I mean your first trading partners are going to be your neighbors and your close friends and your relatives. That's who you should reach out to first. Because if you can't get your mom or your brother to trade with you, you probably are doing something unreasonable or not doing something realistically, because there are people out there that will trade if you have something of value to give. So that's my second piece of advice is, what do you have of value that you can offer that people actually want? I'm filming these chickens right now to show you an example. These red ones, of course they're second, third generation now, some of them, but these red ones come from a line of where I had the silver lace Wyandotte roosters. I had a bunch of those, and I found a guy who wanted to butcher chickens. He wanted to butcher a bunch of roosters, but he also had a bunch of chicks that he didn't really want to raise. So it was a perfect trade. I got rid of about 25 or 30 roosters with that guy, and he traded me a whole bunch of baby chicks. That's how I got this line of the red and the kind of that brown one there. Anything that's not a silver lace Wyandotte, that's how I got that line. There's just stuff like that, you know. Think about what you can do to offer to other people. And I was the one who extended my idea at the time. I was the one who put the roosters out there as an option, and then he came along with his. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to come up with ideas based off of what you have to offer that somebody else might want. And don't be surprised. You might think, oh, nobody wants that. But sometimes you do have something people want. Don't be afraid to just at least put it out there, like, hey, I've got this stuff that maybe you might want. And then also, secondly, don't be afraid to give. If you really do have something you don't want, give it away. And be friendly. It's another way to be neighborly, even if it's a person that doesn't live in your neighborhood. You just give it to them, and you've established a relationship, maybe made a friend that way, and further down the line you might be able to trade with them. So the other thing is don't try to cheat people, though. So don't be trying to trade your junk or a sick animal for something that's good and of value. Always do business in above board way and offer unblemished or undamaged product whenever you're selling or trading with people. And if you do have something that's a blemished product, just point it out to the people you're trading with and say, hey, look, this is what's wrong. Of course, in this pen I don't have her, but I have a one-legged hen. Of course, I wouldn't trade her for anything because she's the grandmother and the mother of a lot of these that are in here. But that's just something, you know, you can consider, is always make sure you kind of trade down, I guess, in a way. You know, you can always trade up. That's good. Really, just an even trade is good. But you always want whoever you're trading with to feel like they got a good deal. That's the way I feel about it. And you always want to help people out as much as you can. Well, here's my one-legged hen. I figured I already talked about her. I might as well show her to you. But I think what I've gone over already actually pretty well explains it. You know, even though it seems simple, it's actually just that simple. Reach out to your family and your friends. People you talk to every day anyway, they need something. And you probably have something they need. So reach out to those people. But the one other thing I always want to remind everybody of is make sure you always put that trade option on the table. And at night, you know, one thing you should reflect on whenever you're done with your day is, who did I talk to today that I could have traded with? And there are people you talk to that maybe it didn't cross your mind. Keep that on the table. Keep that trade idea on the table. What do you have? What can you help people with that they need and that you can give them? And possibly they have something they can give you back. And don't forget about labor. Labor is always a trade. Sometimes you'll have a service that you do that maybe someone will say something like, well, I can't afford that, or I don't have any money right now. What if you didn't need money? What if you said, okay, well, that's fine. Do you have any animals you could trade? Or I don't know, whatever you're looking for. Not every one of you is looking for animals. Do you have maybe they have a fruit tree in the back or something where they have a whole bunch of apples. Something like that. There's my new calf. His name's Bayou Billy. He's a pretty good little calf. That's called a belted Galloway. It's kind of a beef calf cross. So he wants feed right now. He's pretty gentle. Anyway. Alright, I know I said that was the last piece of advice, but here's a bonus for you. This is not exactly trading, but it'll help you build your trading network. If you check like sites like Craigslist, and I know Facebook has a few little meetup groups, by staying local, in my opinion, you'll probably keep the scams down. And there are plenty of scams on the internet, and even Craigslist, there's a bunch. But if you check your local area on Craigslist, however far you're out traveling or whatever, you'll find stuff that you can trade. People will be willing to trade with you, and then you can check that, not only just the area that you want to trade in that's listed on Craigslist, but look in that job area and see the jobs and the gigs, see what people want done and what you can do for other people. And you can also see people that are looking for work there, and if you need something done, perhaps you can pay them in whatever your trade is, or pay them in whatever product you have a surplus of, whether it's food or animals or product, whatever it is, you can trade them in that. But that's the bonus. And then just remember, any internet business you do, beware. Anybody new you meet out of the blue, beware, because a stranger is a friend you haven't met, but there's also a lot of scam artists out there. So just watch your back, and whenever you go to meet someone for the first time, it's always good to have your partner. At least that's like the Rex Kwon Do advice. But you know, you always want to have your buddies back. Just bring somebody with you. I've heard of people getting robbed off of Craigslist before too. Just something to keep in mind. But that's pretty much how I've got my trading network started, and I'm still reaching out. If you want to put down your comments below anything you find that I left out or you think is a good idea for trading, go for it. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.